Seniors, stop eating these 7 fruits, they're destroying your leg strength. One of the fruits in your kitchen right now might be slowly destroying your legs, and no one is warning you. Have the stairs been feeling steeper lately? Or maybe getting out of your favorite chair takes a little more effort than it used to? It's easy to blame age, but what if the real reason is something as simple and surprising as the fruit on your plate? You see, for decades we were told that fruit is always healthy, natural. But that's not entirely true anymore. According to the World Health Organization and the National Institute on Aging, as we grow older, our metabolism slows, our circulation weakens, and our body responds differently to certain foods, including some fruits that were once considered beneficial. In fact, the CDC has linked age-related inflammation and blood sugar spikes, 2 major causes of leg weakness and mobility loss, to specific dietary habits. And here's what no one talks about. Some fruits, especially when eaten regularly after age 60, may silently worsen swelling, stiffness, and even lead to long-term joint pain. That's why in today's video, I'll reveal 7 popular fruits that could be weakening your legs without you realizing. And trust me, the last one on this list is the most dangerous of all, yet almost no one talks about it. So please, stay with me until the very end. This might be the most important health tip you hear this week, especially if you want to stay strong, steady, and independent. Before we dive in, I'd love to know, where are you watching from? Do you or someone you love struggle with leg pain? Type it in the comments. And if this video feels helpful so far, hit 1 below or 0 if not, and let me know how I can do better. Don't forget to subscribe. We're giving away a free senior health guide this month. Alright, let's begin with the first fruit to watch out for. It's tropical, sweet, and often praised for fighting inflammation, but for seniors, it may do the exact opposite. 1. Pineapple, the acidic illusion. Let's begin with a fruit that's often seen as a symbol of tropical health, pineapple. It's juicy, refreshing, and widely praised for its anti-inflammatory compound, bromelain. But here's the truth most people never hear. While bromelain may offer some benefits, pineapple's natural acids and concentrated sugars can quietly harm aging bodies. According to research highlighted by the National Institutes of Health, the high glycemic load of fruits like pineapple can trigger blood sugar spikes, especially dangerous in adults over 60 whose insulin response is slower and less efficient. These sugar surges damage the tiny, delicate blood vessels that supply your legs and feet. And as circulation weakens, oxygen struggles to reach your muscles, leading to that dragging fatigue, heaviness, and even swelling after a short walk or a simple meal. But that's not all. The acidity in pineapple can irritate joints, particularly in those with arthritis or existing inflammation, exacerbating pain in the knees, ankles, and hips. And if you're on medications like blood thinners, pineapple can become even riskier. Bromelain may interfere with how these drugs work, either making them too potent or too weak. What makes it truly dangerous, though, is how silently it acts. There's no immediate pain, no clear signal. Just a slow, creeping loss of mobility. So if you've noticed a dull ache in your legs after meals, or stiffness that lingers longer than it used to, pineapple might be playing a bigger role than you realize. Now, if a fruit celebrated for healing can have this much impact, imagine what might be hiding in the next one, because it's likely sitting on your counter right now. 2. Bananas, the sweet saboteur. Now let's talk about a fruit most people believe is perfectly safe, bananas. Soft, sweet, easy to digest, and packed with potassium, they've long been promoted as a go-to snack for boosting energy and preventing cramps. But for older adults, especially those over 60, bananas may quietly be working against your body. According to the American Heart Association, as we age, our body becomes more sensitive to sugar and less efficient at managing insulin. Bananas, despite their natural label, are loaded with quick-digesting carbohydrates and sugars that cause your blood sugar to rise rapidly. Over time, these repeated spikes can lead to insulin resistance, chronic inflammation, and impaired circulation, 3 factors that directly affect leg strength, mobility, and overall joint health. If you've ever felt your legs growing heavy after a meal, or noticed swelling in your feet and ankles without an obvious cause, bananas might be part of the problem. This effect becomes even more pronounced in seniors with heart issues, as bananas contribute to fluid retention, which places additional pressure on the joints and soft tissue. What makes it more deceptive is that bananas are so often seen as muscle fuel, yet they may be slowly draining the strength you depend on. And just like pineapple, their harm isn't immediate. It creeps in over time, until stairs become a struggle and daily walks leave you aching. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. Now let's move on to the next fruit, because even something as small and sweet as a handful of grapes may be quietly causing damage that most seniors never see coming. 3. Grapes, the sneaky sugar bomb. Now let's take a closer look at a fruit that seems completely harmless, grapes. Tiny, juicy, and so easy to snack on, grapes are often seen as the perfect healthy treat. They're marketed as heart-friendly and packed with antioxidants. But for seniors, especially those struggling with joint pain or reduced mobility, grapes might be doing more harm than good. You see, grapes are extremely high in fructose, a form of sugar that's absorbed directly by the liver. According to research published by the U.S. National Library of Medicine, when fructose is consumed in excess, the liver converts it into fat and uric acid. And that's where the trouble begins. Uric acid, when it builds up, deposits into the joints, causing sudden, sharp pain, especially in the big toe, the knees, or the ankles. If you've ever been woken at night by burning pain in your foot, or felt unexplained stiffness in your calves during the day, a handful of grapes might be the silent trigger. What's worse is how easy they are to overeat. 1 cup turns into 2 without you even noticing. With very little fiber to slow down absorption, grapes send a rush of sugar into your bloodstream, fueling inflammation throughout the body. That inflammation can lead to joint swelling, tightness, and a general sense that your legs just aren't moving the way they used to. And while the effects aren't immediate, over time they build, quietly weakening your legs and draining your stability. So before you reach for that bowl of grapes again, think about how your body responds afterward. If your legs feel heavy, tight, or your joints more sensitive than usual, grapes might not be as innocent as they appear. And as surprising as that may be, wait until you hear about the next fruit, because it's the symbol of summer, refreshment, and hydration, yet it behaves more like a sugar trap for aging muscles and circulation. 4. Watermelon, the hydration trap. Watermelon is often hailed as the ultimate summer refresher, over 90% water, few calories, a perfect thirst quencher. Yet the National Institute on Aging warns that watermelon sits near the top of the glycemic index, meaning it can spike your blood sugar almost as quickly as a candy bar. Those rapid sugar surges force your pancreas and insulin receptors to work overtime, a process that slows even more with age, leading to surges of inflammation and fluid retention. The CDC links such repeated glucose spikes to microvascular damage in the legs and feet, which shows up as dragging fatigue, unexplained swelling, and persistent aching after a short walk. Particularly for those of us over 60, watermelon's sweet, watery flesh can quietly wear down your leg strength, making steps feel heavier and joints feel stiffer. Despite its watery feel, watermelon can act like candy to your bloodstream, and its hidden sugars may be why you're losing pep in your step. Next up, we'll explore how the very citrus fruits many reach for to support immunity can actually irritate aging joints. 5. Citrus fruits, oranges, the joint irritato. Now let's turn to a fruit that many of us enjoy without question, citrus. Oranges, tangerines, grapefruits, They've long been considered the go-to source for vitamin C, especially during cold and flu season. But here's the side that's rarely mentioned. These fruits are extremely high in citric acid, and for older adults, especially those dealing with arthritis or chronic inflammation, this acid can quietly aggravate joint tissue. The National Institute of Arthritis and Musculoskeletal and Skin Diseases notes that acidic foods may worsen joint stiffness and discomfort, particularly in people with osteoarthritis or rheumatoid conditions. And citrus is one of the top offenders. While the vitamin C they offer is important, the acidic load can be harsh on aging joints, amplifying that stiff, achy feeling you get when you first wake up or sit for too long. You might think that morning soreness is just part of getting older, but if you're regularly reaching for oranges or tangerines, they could be adding fuel to the fire. That subtle tightness in your knees, that discomfort after sitting, that growing ache in your hips, it might not be aging alone. Think that tangerine is helping you? It could be quietly stiffening your knees. And like the other fruits we've covered so far, the effects don't happen overnight. It's a slow build, until one day, your legs just don't move like they used to. But citrus isn't the only fruit with a misleading reputation. Coming up next is a crisp, green favorite, one that appears cleaner and healthier than most, yet carries its own hidden risks for aging joints. Let's talk about green apples. 6. Green apples, not so innocent. ETs take a closer look at green apples, because while they may seem like one of the safest fruits in your kitchen, especially with their tart flavor and lower sugar profile, the truth is more complicated for seniors. Green apples contain a compound called malic acid, which in moderation can help with energy production, but in sensitive or aging joints, it may trigger discomfort, stiffness, or even that lingering tightness in your knees or hips after you've been resting. According to insights from the National Library of Medicine, individuals over 60 are more prone to joint irritation when exposed to acidic compounds, especially those who already live with osteoarthritis, gout, or inflammatory joint conditions. What's more, despite being marketed as a low-sugar option, green apples still contain enough natural fructose to raise blood sugar levels when eaten regularly, something the CDC warns may impair circulation and subtly worsen muscle fatigue and stiffness in older adults. You may not notice it right away, but over time, you might find yourself feeling oddly restless in the evenings, unable to get fully comfortable in your chair, or waking up with knees that just don't feel like they used to. And it's easy to miss the connection because green apples carry such a clean image. But as I always tell my patients, just because something looks healthy doesn't mean it's working in your favor. They may be tart and crisp, but they could be robbing your evening comfort. And if a humble apple can do this much, imagine the toll from a fruit so sweet it practically melts on your tongue. The next one is beloved, especially in the summer. But this tropical treat, despite being natural, is one of the biggest sugar bombs for aging legs. Let's talk about mango. 7. Mango, the sugar overload. Now we come to mango, soft, juicy, and so delicious it almost feels like dessert. It's no surprise that many people call it nature's candy. But for seniors, especially those over 60, that sweet pleasure can come at a hidden cost. Mangoes are extremely high in fructose, a natural sugar that, when consumed in large amounts, can act just like refined sugar inside your bloodstream. According to research from the American Diabetes Association, excess fructose contributes to chronic low-grade inflammation and increases insulin resistance, two of the key drivers behind leg fatigue, poor circulation, and gradual muscle decline in older adults. What's even more concerning is that mangoes don't raise red flags right away. You don't feel pain after eating one. You don't get dizzy or sick. Instead, the damage builds slowly. You might notice you're walking slower than you used to, your legs tire faster, your ankles swell more often, or you're just not as steady on your feet. Mango's soft texture and sweet flavor make it so easy to eat too much, and the CDC warns that regular overconsumption of high-fructose fruits like mango can worsen metabolic health and contribute to muscle wasting, particularly in those already experiencing weakness or balance issues. And yet, we often treat mango as a healthy indulgence. But the truth is, it's nature's candy, and it behaves just like candy in your bloodstream. If you've been reaching for mango as a feel-good treat, it may be time to reconsider, because what feels harmless could be quietly draining your strength. But don't worry, not all fruits are foes. In fact, up next, I'll show you the fruits that actually build strength, support your joints, and keep your legs moving like they used to. Let's start with one creamy green powerhouse that's been unfairly misunderstood for decades: avocado. 8 better fruit choices for seniors. Now that we've uncovered the hidden dangers in 7 common fruits, let's shift the focus, because not all fruits are bad. In fact, some can transform your health if chosen wisely, especially when it comes to protecting your legs, your joints, and your energy as you age. Let's start with one of the most misunderstood heroes in the fruit world: avocados. For years, people feared their fat content. But now, research from the Harvard School of Public Health and the American Heart Association shows that the monounsaturated fats in avocados, especially oleic acid, can reduce inflammation, cushion your joints, support brain health, and improve circulation, all without spiking your blood sugar. It's the perfect daily addition for seniors wanting strength without the sugar. Next, consider papaya. Gentle, tender, and rich in natural enzymes like papain, this fruit aids digestion and soothes gut inflammation, something many older adults struggle with. According to the National Institute on Aging, better digestion leads to better nutrient absorption, which means stronger muscles and less joint pain over time. Then we have pears, especially when paired with a bit of protein or fiber. Unlike many high-sugar fruits, pears release energy slowly and steadily. This helps stabilize blood sugar, support endurance, and keep your legs from feeling heavy or drained by midday. Pomegranates, too, are a powerful ally. Backed by studies in the Journal of Atherosclerosis, pomegranate juice has been shown to reduce arterial stress, lower inflammation, and improve blood flow, all critical factors in preventing leg cramps, swelling, and weakness. And we can't forget berries: blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, all loaded with anthocyanins, the pigments that not only give them their color but protect the brain, support memory, and help regulate blood sugar. According to the National Institute on Aging, seniors who regularly consume berries see measurable improvements in cognition and mobility. So yes, fruit can hurt you, but it can also heal you. You just have to know which ones to trust. Coming up next, I'll show you how choosing the wrong fruits, even in small amounts, can dramatically increase your risk of metabolic syndrome, heart problems, and leg muscle decline, but also how simple swaps can keep you walking strong for years to come. 9. The hidden danger of healthy fruits. Here's what most people, even health-conscious seniors, don't realize. Some fruits, even the ones labeled natural or healthy, may quietly be increasing your risk of serious health conditions. According to recent studies published by the National Institutes of Health and supported by the World Health Organization, older adults who regularly consume high-sugar fruits face a 57% higher risk of developing metabolic syndrome, a dangerous cluster of conditions including high blood pressure, elevated blood sugar, excess body fat around the waist, and abnormal cholesterol levels. This syndrome drastically raises your risk of stroke, heart disease, and type 2 diabetes, all of which are closely tied to decreased leg strength, balance issues, and fatigue. And it's not just about sugar. Fruits like dried apricots, raisins, and figs, which are often marketed as healthy snacks, are extremely concentrated in sugar and can spike your glucose levels faster than candy. Even grapefruit, widely praised for weight loss, can interfere with common medications like statins and blood pressure drugs, something the FDA has issued repeated warnings about. These interactions can lead to dangerously elevated drug levels in your body, increasing the risk of kidney damage, muscle breakdown, or worse. And for seniors, who often take multiple prescriptions daily, this danger is multiplied. But I want to be clear, this isn't about fear. It's about awareness. When you understand how your body changes after 60, and how even healthy choices must evolve with you, you reclaim control. You protect your legs, your independence, and your future. So before we wrap up, let me leave you with one final reminder. Your fruit bowl might need a little rethinking, but that small change could make all the difference in how strong you walk, how steady you feel, and how long you live with vitality. And in just a moment, I'll share a few simple habits to help you make those changes with confidence. So let's bring it all together. You don't have to cut out all fruits, just the ones that no longer serve your body at this stage of life. The truth is, your metabolism, your joints, your circulation, they've changed. And that means your nutrition has to change too. Some fruits may still look harmless, but inside they could be draining your strength one bite at a time. And yet, others, like avocado, papaya, berries, can do just the opposite. They can protect your legs, support your heart, and sharpen your mind. Because your legs don't just carry your body, they carry your freedom, your stories, your independence. They're what let you walk your granddaughter down the aisle, chase your dog through the backyard, or simply stand up and hug someone you love. Don't let the wrong fruit steal that from you. If this video helped you, even in the smallest way, please send it to someone you care about. A friend, a parent, a neighbor. Sometimes, one small change in the kitchen is all it takes to protect a future full of steady steps and strong moments. And before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I've got more practical, science-backed tips coming just for you. Because staying strong after 60 is possible, and you deserve nothing less.